Librarian Jamie here. This is the demo video where I walk through some of the steps to use eHRAF World Cultures and another library resource to complete your Exploring Identity and Culture assignment for Anthropology 1010. All right, as a reminder, there is a shorter video elsewhere, or just play me on like 2x speed. But you definitely want to get into eHRAF World Cultures database once you've picked a culture, or after you've picked a culture, to get a lot of really great information, basic information, where they live, how their communities function, what the environment's like, all those sorts of things. And then Summon is the other library resource that I will show you today in this video. Google Scholar can also be helpful. So this isn't like a one-stop shop. This is, you're going to get really good information from lots of different sources, kind of an assignment. And not too many. It's not too much. So as a reminder, the first option would be to get into eHRAF World Cultures and actually find a culture summary, which again, you'll need to complete parts of this assignment. So let's do that. There's another video on this, so I'm going to do it kind of quick, but I'm going to click on the eHRAF links and search tips on our anthropology guide, and then go into eHRAF World Cultures. From here, I'm looking for cultures or browse cultures. It's at the top of the screen on a large, wide device. It's at the bottom of the screen on a narrow or like profile mode device. From here, you can just click around, search for a culture you've heard about but you don't know much about. Use the map. I like using the map to see, to learn more about cultures that I just don't know much about. I'm going to look at the Greeks today because I can. So pick a pin based on location, kind of click through, see what looks interesting to you. As you open the names of the culture, it'll open like a brief description of them, so you could read a little bit about them. And then if you want to learn more or kind of commit to them for this project, then you would look at the full profile. And then here is where that culture summary magic is. It's under summary. And again, these are the length and the detail in these summaries depend on the research available in this database. This one's pretty extensive, so you're going to need some of this information, like where was this culture located? What language did they speak, right? How did they get their food? What was their economy like, and so forth. Another thing I would say as you're looking through this summary is to kind of keep an eye out for things like maybe division of labor. If you're looking at how different genders participated or were welcomed or not in different identities, I should say, not just genders. Kind of some of this information is going to be in the summary. So like we're seeing here, just catching my eye, despite the importance of women's productive work in farming, household maintenance, and familial businesses, wage labor outside the family has been male dominated until recently, right? So that's just something to think about as you're exploring like gender in this culture. Some of the summaries, if you keep going down, will have some like rituals and traditions that you might want to explore because that's a piece of this assignment as well. Okay, so we have our culture. From here, you can look at the documents if you want more information. You know, something like honor, family, and patronage might give you a sense of like maybe how they treated their elders. There's lots of stuff on this culture, of course. But kind of scroll through here, cosmos and gender in village Greece, women, looks like they have a dowry or did at some point, right? So here's one on gender, kinship, and religion. Maybe that's going to talk about the role of gender, how different genders are treated, or what else? Embarrassment as pride, gender pragmatics. So this one has a lot because I, randomly clicked on a culture that has been extensively studied. So there's some good things here. And I know that all these documents are about Greek culture. So that's like a shortcut. If you wanted, you could try to get a little more specific with your search. by doing the steps here, which is to go to the advanced search. You already know the culture you want, and then you're going to add a keyword to represent one identity group at a time. I wouldn't do like elderly, disabled, queer women. Like that's too many things at once for this database. You want to just do one identity group at a time. So let me show you that. We're going to go to advanced search. I know that I'm doing Greeks, so I'm going to click on Greeks. And then maybe let's try, we could try gender. I'm also interested in perhaps disability. Let's see if that pops up a lot. So it doesn't usually in this database. So as you see, it shows you the results in a kind of funny way. It goes by like the region and then the subregion and culture. So if you click on the culture here, it's going to show us the documents that had that term disability in it. And oh, here's this honor, value, and honor, family, and patronage one again. So we could click onto those to then go see where this term disability is popping up and if it's helpful to us or not. So that's kind of how I would use eHRAF World Cultures. I also mentioned not everything's going to be in this database, but that summary, that culture summary is like gold or silver, whatever your preferred metal is. So let's go now. I'm clicking on the databases page here on anthropology and the search library materials. This is where we can get a little more specific with our search terms. So I could search Greeks and disability. And I bet you I'm going to get more than like 2 results here. Let's see. So this database searches most of our content in one place. There are some kinks that we're still working out, or some, I's we need to dot and T's we need to cross, whatever analogy you want to use. I like to turn on Access Online now, especially if you're in an online course. It doesn't usually impact the results too much. Like it just took away 2 results out of almost 78,000. But here we go. So now we're seeing lots of resources. In this particular database, we might need to get a little more specific. Like Greek these days also means like Greek life in college, right? If you're part of a sorority or fraternity. Greek disability sports clubs. There's like very specific things here. Representations of disability in 1960s Greek film noirs. So this search might need some refining. We might need to put, like if you found a ritual that you want to explore, add that ritual name to this, right? Or we could just try ritual and see what happens. I like to run new searches every time I record a video, so I never know what's going to happen. It's great. Let's see, we're seeing some. Okay, so here's an interesting one. The architecture of access, ramps at ancient Greek healing sanctuaries. This is fascinating. This could give us some detail about, how accessible ancient Greek like hospitals or healing sanctuaries were, right? Fascinating. So from here, you just would click on the PDF or access online now. There's also a site button. There's a link button here, and you can email yourself a link back to this source. So that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully this is helpful. We talked through how to use eHRAF a couple different ways for this assignment and looked at summon briefly. You can use the internet too. Just make sure you're finding like really credible stuff, right? Especially if you are seeing things that look like AI, definitely fact check those somewhere else. But as always, reach out to myself or your course instructor if you have questions, comments, concerns, thrilling discoveries. We'd love to hear about it all. And there's more information on the guide if you need it. Thank you.